Yo, 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 what is up? We are going to be going over this replay because I thought it was pretty interesting actually, and I had zero expectations going into this duel with anything. This is an FTK. Well, we won't spoil it just yet, but yeah, this is a very fun deck that I've been on the lab cooking, doing a little bit of homework, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I think what I'm hoping is this can maybe showcase some of the interactivity that it has to push through disruption. We're going up against Sword Soul here, so let's go ahead and pay our respects to DB Grinder and read out all the cards. All right, so we got Golden Bamboo Sword, Trade In, Cursed Bamboo, Emesti, and Foolish Burial Goods. And then on the other side, the opponent has Ash, Ryzen, Borger, Stake Your Soul, and Trinity Burst. Trinity Burst is a little bit new to me. Let's just go ahead and read this now. Target one Vanquish Soul monster you control. Special up to two Vanquished Soul monsters from your hand with different names from each other, neither of which has the same original attribute as the targeted monster. Okay, so you need three different attributes in play here. But negate their effects and return them to the hand during the end phase. Then you can return all cards your opponent controls that are in the same columns as the targeted monster you control and the monster special summon. So this is ridiculous. You're bringing out two other vanquished souls from your hand, so you have three, and then on resolution, this thing checks for which ones are in these columns, and it's going to return them back. This is a very interesting card. Gimmicky maybe? I don't know. We're going to see how this plays out. So they're going first, I recall. Yeah, so Stake Your Soul, they're going to reveal, and then special with a different name from deck, which is just crazy. Mad Love's going to add, and Borger's going to summon. Mad Love adds the Snow Devil. This thing can destroy all monsters on the field. Okay, so Borger's going to draw a card by revealing a dark, and then we're going to normal summon Raisin. Let's slow it down here a little bit. We're just stacking resources here. So it looks like they searched the, let's see, what did they already search with Raisin? Yes, they searched the Caesar with Raisin, and then I think they grabbed the Snow Devil with, what was it? Dr. Madlove. So they are just stacked right now. Wow, that is incredible. Let's see. Quick effect. You can activate one of these effects. Did he activate that effect and then link summon? No. Maybe they were just resolving that add effect. Okay, and then they link summon into Rock the Vanquisher, which just takes any Vanquished Soul monster. Got it. And this lets him play on my turn. Adds back. Wow. What a hand. So set Imperm, Trinity Beast, and Snow Devil. So, yeah, with this hand, and the general premise of this deck is, right, you want to deck thin first and then draw. So we'll open up with Foolish Burial Goods. I'm also trying to be as generic as possible here. The least amount of information I can give my opponent, the better at this point. So we'll go ahead and bait something out here. It looks like they're going to respond with Borger, which will reveal to activate its effect. So it's just revealing a dark to draw, which is fine. So we'll go ahead and get our Cursed Bamboo here, grabbing out the original. So much better than the Broken Bamboo. Thank God this thing exists. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and Emesti. I mean, at this point, it's obvious that we have a little bit more gas than just Bamboo, so we'll show the other engine and have it be still rather generic so they don't know what I'm on yet. So we'll go ahead and grab out our Sarcophagus and draw a card. Still no responses out of them, so we'll go ahead and use our Bamboo in the grave to grab Golden, which is great. We got a little draw set up here. This is hilarious. Okay, Upstart, and then we'll go ahead and use our first Gold Sark, to which they Ash. And granted, this is a little bit confusing because King's Sarcophagus says you can use it 4 times per turn. So they know I can do this again. And I've already plussed quite a bit on cards. So this first thing is really just trading a 1-for-1. It's very, very interesting, I'll be honest. They were playing well, and that was the worst play of their game, I would say. So we'll go ahead and pitch the dead trade-in at this point. Or, I don't have any 8s in my hand, so I'm trying to just use the cards that aren't going to give me draws as immediately as others might. And these 4 might convert a lot easier. than hitting a level 8. So we'll go ahead and dump Happy, and at this point we have a Mesty and Happy engraved. Get rid of the Wonder Wand as well at that point because there's no spellcasters to be seen here, and these are really what are needed for the pot of greed setup. I mean, these are 2 pot of greeds, as long as I've got this, and this will still grab a cursed out of the deck. So we're deck thinning and then drawing 4 cards out of these 3. That's pretty solid. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and just use the busted effect of these horses and bring them all out from the grave once per turn. And then this, he probably was not expecting. There's so much disruption coming from the opponent at this point, right? They have hand effects, they have monsters, they have monsters in hand, basically. This thing's still live, there's some back row here, of course, but this guy gives me a little bit of protection. The Galaxy Eyes, obviously, all the horse decks are playing it at this point if you want some negation. Yeah, detach, when an opponent activates a monster effect, you can detach 1 material from this card and negate that monster's effect. Unfortunately, not the activation. And then we don't care about the rest because we're not playing with galaxies. But yeah, this is now a monster negate, so theoretically we can, threaten something from the opponent, which is great. So then we'll go ahead, and I mean, normally you're using these 3 to go into Coach King, right? This is we're trying to deep draw our deck here, so Coach King will let you do that and go 3 deeper, but the fact that I made this, I think, was hoping to throw them off a little bit, and then we can still play with just 1 other card, because now we're going to start using our equips. Now this is great, so for some reason this baits a reaction, so they've gone ahead and revealed, they have Dark, Earth, and Fire in their hands, so they've revealed all 3 archetypes, so they're going to resolve these effects in sequence in response to this original Bamboo's activation, which is just equipping itself, and so they're going to special summon a Vanquish Soul from their hand. They're going to burn me a lot. They're going to protect their Vanquish Souls, and then they're going to destroy all monsters on the field. So this thing will, likely just get rid of the Photon Lord, and they're probably not going to use any other monster effects because they know I would just negate it. So let's go ahead and resolve. I'm going to burn, they special, burn, protect, burn. Now, thank goodness, these Horus cards really interact well together. King Sark. Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects that do not target them. Nothing on this card says target, it just says destroy, so thankfully this guy's fine. And they were hoping to trade and get this guy off field. Gotta ring first line of text, King Sark. Downfall of all Yu-Gi-Oh players. Okay, so we then get to trigger our Horus on a separate chain link. It's not a quick effect, but it does say, if another card, plural, you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your monster zone, you can send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Incredibly generic material. So the fact that our Photon Lord hit the grave means this thing gets to trigger and send and threaten something else, so this is baiting an Imperm. I did not need to place this in another potential Imperm column. Granted, I didn't know that they had Trinity Burst in hand. I assumed this was another Imperm. This must have been a misclick, or we're just not quite there yet, but yeah, they do Imperm in this column right here, so both spell and trap zones are negated from now for the rest of this turn. So I do not get to send, unfortunately. And what do I do? Yeah, literally the last thing to resolve, infinite permanence. Let's just appreciate this card, because I've never read it on this channel. So, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then, if this card was set before activation and is on the field at resolution, meaning you set it, during your turn and activate it on your opponent's turn, you don't use it like a hand trap. For the rest of this turn, all other spell and traps in this card's column are negated. Really, really cool. This thing can trade with monsters and spells and traps if you play correctly. Playing around the Imperm columns is like a thing. It's like happening at Worlds, basically. Everybody plays into Imperm. I just really played into Imperm. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. Also, I didn't even use original, and I should have thinned first before drawing. So we're already 2 bad decisions in here. I think at this point I was so embarrassed by the Imperm misplay, I'm probably just going to fire off this other golden. Just because I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Then, of course, I come to my senses and realize, wait, I still need to use this Cursed Bamboo. So we'll go ahead and grab this out of the deck. We'll go ahead and now use our Magician's Souls, bring it out. And granted, at this point, I'm thinking, right, I've already brought out the Horuses, so King Sark has done its job. Like, there's, I've protected this thing once. There's very unlikely for them to disrupt me again. So I'm just thinking, okay, let's send the King Sark and the Cursed Bamboo, which is now at this point just turning it into, a slight search engine where this thing's going to grab the last golden bamboo, and then that's going to be, I don't know, maybe now fodder for the Summoner Monk. But yeah, we go ahead and just fire off and send it to, turning off completely our Horus cards, just because we need to hit Exodia. We have our win condition at this point, and to be fair, we have not milled or hurt ourselves in any major way. All of the key pieces are still in the deck, which is really ideal for an Exodia player. You do not want to see any of your pieces until your engine is chugging here. So yeah, the fact that I still haven't hit pieces is great because they're just bricks in your hand. They don't actually give you gas. You'd ideally like to search them out. This deck does a fantastic job of doing that. But anyways, so we just go for it with the Magician's Souls here. And sure enough, we're going to go ahead and bounce. So this thing's going to resolve specials 2 from, up to 2? Up to 2. So they just choose to special summon 1. And then they're going to bounce, right? This thing then says, return to hand all cards your opponent controls that are in the same columns as the targeted monster. Oh, I don't know what they targeted. Well, regardless, they're definitely going to bounce these 2. Oh, they didn't. Oh, so they must have targeted the Borger and summoned... Oh, because they already had a monster, so I put it... Wow, so I unintentionally played around Trinity Burst because I summoned this thing to a zone that he already had a monster. So he would have had... I don't know why then he wanted to get rid of my Amesti versus this Magician's Souls. He's underestimating this thing. And so, yeah, I was basically able to protect this thing because this card was neither targeted nor summoned off of Trinity Burst, so it did not get bounced. So we go ahead and draw 2, and of course, I spoke it into existence, at least in this replay. We do indeed hit a piece here, which is fine. There's still gas. This card's dead. But we still have Summoner Monk, and that's pretty much all we need. And then, thank goodness, this Cursed Bamboo goes ahead and searches a golden. And then now we're just being, cheeky. He put a monster in this column, and because we're playing level 1s, we get to play Relinquished Anima. Slurpy Slurp, so they get threatened, so they go ahead and activate another effect, and I think that was their last interaction, which was to just bounce and summon. Oh, this thing from hand. Yeah. Okay, so they have a bunch of monsters on the field. I don't know why they're walling up. That's definitely not my win condition to attack them at this point. So we're just going to dig deeper with Upstart. We already have our spell for the Summoner Monk. Now, I do hit the Panda here, so I could just opt to normal summon, but I instead choose to go for Monk because then we can special out another Panda from the deck then a little bit deeper. And this is then 2 level 4s that we can use to go into Dugaris. So Summoner Monk's going to go ahead and pitch the Golden Bamboo to bring out Treasure Panda. Yes, it's time. This is the degenerate strategy upon which we built this deck. Yeah, we're gonna Panda all the way. And the fact that we've chewed through all the interactions at this point means that we just get to combo. So as long as we don't brick ourselves here, we're pretty much lit. So yeah, Panda's gonna banish spells and traps from the grave to bring out normal monsters, and there's no once per turn. So it's just 1 spell or trap per level on the monster you're bringing out. And these are all level 1 star. So it's just 1 spell or trap per piece. So we'll go ahead and bring out 3 because we already have the 4th piece in hand. And then this thing can only bring out normal monsters. So we can't actually search the head. We have to hard draw it. But that's fine. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and climb into the rank 4 here by turning our 2 level 4s into Dugaris. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and use this effect. Draw 2, discard 1, probably get rid of the piece. And we hit Factory, which is the last kind of, part of this win condition is we'll send all the normal monsters to the graveyard. We'll set up head and double Factory, and that's the win con. All right. So we'll then go ahead and discard the arm from our hand off of the Dugaris effect. So now we're going to go ahead and link, and then I leave this one on the field just in case I hit a Wonder Wand. I don't think I was looking... Oh, no, I do have one more in the deck. So theoretically, I could have sent this off a Wonder Wand if I need to dig deeper. Although I guess Saryuja could have also brought out the Horus monster, which is basically you just need a spellcaster for Wonder Wand. But this can also be linked off, so I'm not handicapping myself by leaving this leg on the field. All right, so Saryuja's just gonna do its thing, and we hit our win condition. So yep, 10 cards left in deck, doesn't matter. Thank you, Saryuja. Let's go ahead and just fire this off. We'll of course link Karibo to get this in the grave, and then we'll double factory all the way to victory. I thought about doing 1 day of peace, but that's just mean. That's just rude. So yeah, no, none of that. So yeah, we hit the GGs on both sides. It was great to see that. But yeah, yeah. Anyways, enjoy a little bit of late night degeneracy.